Your $40 fertilizer might be solving the wrong problem right now, and the fix could already be sitting in your kitchen cabinet. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly why your plant's leaves are turning yellow between the veins, and why one specific dollar item fixes it faster than almost anything you can buy at a garden center. This isn't a trick, it's chemistry. And once you see it, you'll never look at your plants the same way again. You water your plants every week, you give them sunlight, you even bought that fancy fertilizer with the green label that promised lush growth. And still, the leaves turn yellow, not brown, not crispy. Yellow with the veins staying stubbornly green. It's confusing, it's frustrating. You start wondering if you're just bad at this. You Google it at midnight, you scroll through forums. Someone tells you it's overwatering. Someone else says underwatering. Someone else says root rot. You buy a $35 fertilizer bottle because the label says plant vitality boost. You use it, nothing changes. Weeks pass, leaves keep dropping. You've spent $60, $80, sometimes more on soil, treatments, sprays, and miracle plant foods, and the yellowing keeps spreading. Here's the hard truth. Most of those products aren't built to solve this specific problem. They're built to solve a dozen problems at once, badly, so they can sit on a shelf and appeal to everyone. Meanwhile, the actual cause of that particular yellow between the veins pattern is something almost nobody explains clearly, and the fix costs about $1. So let's talk about what's actually happening inside that leaf. Plants make their green color using chlorophyll. Chlorophyll needs magnesium to form properly. Without enough magnesium, a plant literally cannot produce enough green pigment, especially in older, lower leaves first. The result is yellowing that starts between the veins, while the veins themselves stay green. This is a real, well-documented condition in botany called magnesium deficiency chlorosis. It's especially common in potted plants because every time you water, and the excess drains out the bottom, you're flushing nutrients like magnesium right along with it. Outdoor garden soil gets replenished naturally. Pots don't. Over months, magnesium levels quietly drop and the plant starts showing it in exactly that pattern. This isn't some hidden industry secret. It's basic plant physiology that's been in agricultural science for over a century. The reason most people don't know it is simpler than a conspiracy. General purpose fertilizers focus on nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. The big three in magnesium often gets treated as an afterthought. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. That's it. 2 ingredients, magnesium and sulfur, both of which plants use directly. When you dissolve it in water and apply it to soil that's magnesium deficient, the plant can absorb that magnesium through its roots almost immediately and start redirecting it toward chlorophyll production. Compare that to a $35 to $50 specialty fertilizer that contains a tiny fraction of a percent of magnesium buried inside a mix of a dozen other compounds. Your plant may not even need right now. You're not paying for better science. You're paying for marketing and packaging. A 1-pound bag of Epsom salt costs about $1 to $2 and treats dozens of plants for months. That's the real gap here. Not secrecy, just nobody telling you which specific problem it solves. Let's get into exactly how to use it, because dosage actually matters here, and more is not better. First, dissolve 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt into 1 gallon of water. Stir until it's fully dissolved. Don't leave granules sitting in the water. Second, water your plant with this mixture instead of plain water once every 4 weeks for potted plants. This isn't a daily treatment. Third, apply it directly to the soil around the base, avoiding the leaves themselves to prevent any residue buildup. Fourth, keep watching the older lower leaves specifically. That's where magnesium deficiency shows up first, and that's where you'll see the earliest change. Fifth, do not exceed the 1 tablespoon per gallon ratio. More magnesium doesn't speed up the process. It just risks throwing off the plant's other nutrient absorption. Sixth, if you're growing in containers, repeat this every 4 to 6 weeks since nutrients leach out faster from pots than garden soil. One important note, this specifically treats magnesium deficiency. If your yellowing is caused by overwatering, nitrogen deficiency, pests, or root rot, Epsom salt won't fix those, and it's worth ruling those out first by checking soil moisture and inspecting roots. That honesty matters, because using the wrong fix wastes your time. So what should you actually expect? If magnesium deficiency is the real cause, most growers start noticing new leaf growth coming in visibly greener within 1 to 2 weeks. Existing yellow leaves usually don't reverse completely, since that damage is already done, but they typically stop spreading and new growth comes in healthier. This isn't an overnight miracle, and it isn't permanent immunity from all yellowing forever. Plants still need consistent care afterward. But compared to spending $40 or $50 repeatedly on general fertilizers that may not even target the actual deficiency, a $2 bag of Epsom salt used correctly on The right problem solves it at a fraction of the cost. Plenty of home gardeners have used this exact method for decades. It's a long-standing, well-known technique in gardening circles, even if it's not common knowledge for beginners. If this helped you understand what's actually going on with your plant, hit like so more people see the real explanation instead of guesswork. Subscribe if you want more plant care breakdowns that are grounded in actual science, not hype. And here's one last tip. Always check your soil's drainage before adding any nutrient treatment, because even the right nutrient can't help a plant sitting in soggy, oxygen-starved roots. Take care of the basics first, then let the small fixes do their job. Your plants will thank you for it.